Hello guys and girls, welcome to a Saturday night live stream with me, your host Paranormal White Noise. And as you can see from down there, we have Glenn from North Nottingham Paranormal, we have Scarling Ray or Rachel or Ray or however you like to call her. And we also have Miss Unicorn, a Kirsty. So if you guys want to say hi.
Hi to everybody in chat.
Hi. Hi, chat. I might need to turn you up a minute, Kirsty, because you sound a bit quiet.
It's okay, I'll hold the phone closer to my face.
All right. Can everybody in chat hear us?
Check one, check one.
Fingers crossed. No problems tonight, hopefully. Yeah, okay. Yes, all right, love it. Right, I don't know how many of you three can see the chat, so I'm just going to do some hellos. So we have, I don't know if she's still around, but we have Soulful Seeker, which is Barbie. We have Moses. We have Paranormal Playground. We have Catherine Holte. Miss Mary Lou. We have Anthony Cox. We have, which is Chris. We have Morbid Session. And we have Tammy. And we have Miss Reaction, who is Danny. That are in chat. And we have Dreamer. I can't forget Dreamer. Okay, guys. So prepared a bit of an agenda this evening. Guys in the chat, guys that's on the panel with me do already know. If at any point, guys in chat, you hear a problem with the sound or buffering or anything like that, please do let me know in the chat, because I will be looking at it periodically. So right, what we've got in store for you guys tonight is we have got a list of cheap alternatives to expensive equipment. I keep looking at chat when I should be looking in the camera, excuse me. And over what are some alternatives for those of you that don't have a lot of money, that are just getting started, you're not too sure. You're not too sure if you want to get into the paranormal, but you want to give the investigating a try. It's just a few alternatives that you can try out for yourself. And we have got a few experiences by Kirsty through her investigations and what she's experienced. She's been investigating. And then after that, we've got some do's and don'ts for the paranormal. Some are going to be obvious. Some are not going to be so obvious. Hold on a minute. Okay. So if you want a pen and a piece of paper for that section, you're quite welcome to. And then we have Rachel's story, where Rachel's experiences. She is newly into a paranormal team. And where she's still quite new in paranormal, she'll be able to give you her experiences as a new person going into a team, so that those of you that may be thinking of going into a team will know what to expect, maybe how cross-finding a local team, so it just helps you guys out a little bit more. And then we do have a last section, but I'm not actually going to mention about it. I will let you guys wait. So, right. So hello to the people that have just come in. I will say a proper shout out hello after section. which is cheap alternatives to expensive equipment. So we're going on about things like infrared cameras, thermal imagers. We're going on about IR lights. We're going on about sound recorders, what you can use instead of using a ghost box, a physical ghost box. There are, because as I know that the panel will know, I know, and I know a lot of you lot will know, ghost hunting or investigating, or however which way that you want to describe it as, can be a very expensive hobby. Unless you've got very good friends that are able to help you out, it can cost you thousands upon thousands. But there are some cheap alternatives that you still be able to still do the same type of investigating, but on a budget. So, for example, what you can use, if you don't have a physical ghost box, but you have a wind-up radio at home, manual tube, that you can just turn the dial. You can just keep turning the dial backwards and forwards. That's one alternative. If you've got one at home, that's great. If you don't have one at home, have a look around your local Goodwill, charity shop, car boot sales. You can pick one of them up just for a couple of dollars, a couple of pounds, like me, a couple of euros. Just as effective as using a physical a ghost box that is on a constant speed that you just go into it manually. Or out there that do actually use a manual suite, or it's their preference or because of cost factor. The other way of doing it, if you've got a good data volume, is you can use, there are some good apps there. I'm going to mention my favorite one, which I think all of you guys know by now, which is the Live Ghost Box. By Sue Fonte. I can see Rachel smiling because I know you like that one too.
Got on my phone.
And for you guys that don't know what the Live Ghost Box app is, there's actually two versions. You've got a free version which you can try, which is Stream 1, and you've got the Plus version, which is 3 streams, but you've got a lot more options involved in the Plus version. At some point I will actually do a rundown on that app, or you can have a look at the Live Ghost Box YouTube channel. So back to what it actually does. It is actually a physical ghost box streamed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week over the internet. So it is the closest thing that you will have to a physical ghost box, but it will just be on your phone. If you do have a good data package, and it doesn't use a lot of data, so you don't really need to worry about that, but that is a very good app to use, and it's one that I highly recommend. There are plenty of others out there. There is another one based very, very similar, which is by Mark Coulter. There are apps out there which are also very good. I am going to be compiling a list of the good apps for you. And I have tried a few of them out, but I've not actually got anything really on my channel, per se. Another app that you can use, which is also very good, which is RecForge, which is good if you want to do EVP work. Options there that you can choose on the sensitivity, motion detector. It's also very good. There's this free version, and there is also a. Do I sound awful? Kirsty, am I sounding awful? You can Somebody, audio, Glenn, Kirsty.
Let's see.
Well, Rachel, well, none of you are on mute, so you can talk. Glenn.
All right, what's going on?
I don't know.
I can hear you.
Hello. Well, Rachel, I can hear. Hang on.
I can't hear. Yeah. Okay. So,
Oh, hang on a minute. Glenn.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That was my fault that your volumes were down.
Can you hear me too?
She broke the stream.
Oh, you broke.
5 minutes in and she's broke the stream already.
I don't know why it was so quiet.
Oh,
Get in line.
dear.
Get in
I
line.
do apologise. I'm
We'll
sorry.
take turns slapping her.
Sorry.
She left my mic fine. My mic was great.
Yes,
No,
she's
no.
so
You just ignore. You just keep ignoring us, Zara. We don't mind.
Yeah, you don't mind at all.
I'm just babbling a song.
We were just having a conference between ourselves. You know, you just carry on with what you're doing. Just ignore us.
I didn't hear. I really didn't hear. I've only got my little camera here. I'm really,
No,
really
it
sorry.
It wouldn't be a live stream if something didn't go wrong.
Oh, exactly.
This is it. So you guys can actually see. Hang on a minute.
No, none of us can see or hear you now, Zara. We're just ignoring you.
Hang on. This, where is it? Where's my flipping screen? Hang on.
She's just broken everything, hasn't she?
I haven't. You can't see what I'm freaking using. No. No. Oh, knickers. Well, what I'm actually using, hang on.
You're fired.
For my webcam. No, they're not. I checked earlier. Basically, I'm using one of these as my webcam. Oh dear.
That's it. Everything's gone to pot now.
Everything's just completely gone to pot. No, let's start again. Start all over again.
Just pretend nothing beforehand happened at all.
The good news is everybody could actually hear what you were saying. It was just the interaction between you and us.
All right, okay. But the stupid thing now is my screen isn't changing, so I'm just presenting all the time.
So you can't see us either?
Well, no, the screen isn't actually changing on the icons. I can see you on the bottom.
You're hogging the show though.
Who's the furry guy in the bottom right?
Some weird dude, that's for sure.
Change the side of the beach.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Okay, now that that's sorted out. Terrible. Where was I? Oh, yes.
We don't know. We haven't got a clue. We just lost it 10 minutes ago, we did.
I was so in the
Oh my goodness.
I was so right in the zone there. I really was.
You were.
I was. Excuse guys in chats. I know Mags, right? You know, they interrupt my flow of zen to you guys.
Oh, it's all us.
Yeah, just blame us.
Anyways, let's try again. Another app is the RecForge app, and it's good for recording EVPs. You've got a pro version and a free version that you can use.
Yeah, can I just jump in there, Zara?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, if anybody wants to know about the RecForge app, Irish Stevo is the man to go to because he knows that app inside out.
Yes, and it does actually have a G+ community called, I think it's actually called RecForge.
That's right. Yes, it does.
I will say hellos in a moment, guys. Little section out the way. With regards, also, if your phone has got its own recorder, you can actually use that one too. That does work. There's Maria Lally. She does a lot of her EVPs just using her phone. So again, you know, if you've got a smartphone, you're able to you've got something there that you can film. If it's slightly dark where you are, you need some extra lighting. What I use either a cheap watch, which you can get like from the dollar stores, the pound shop. They work just as good as any expensive camera lighting. If you've got a light on your bike, you can use that. I use mine. I also use that for when I'm filming inside. Oops, missing stuff there. What else you can use is if you want to have, if you're filming and you want to have the look of like a infrared or full spectrum or that type of effect, there are free apps that you're able to use that does give you that effect. So it'll be like me turning on my little full spectrum camera there. It's not a proper full spectrum or thermal or infrared, it just gives you that effect. So if you do want that effect, just to snazz your session up a bit, there is stuff there available also to use, and a lot free of charge as well. I don't know if you guys have got any recommendations.
No, I think you just about covered that bit.
Yeah, but say you got it covered pretty well.
Kirsty?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, very covered indeed.
Okay, right. Well, what I'm going to do before I carry on is I'm going to go and see who else has joined chat. Let's just hide that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's better. Right. Hi, Joanne. We have Portia. Who else have we got? Hi, Anthony. Hi, Dwayne. Who else have we got? Let me see. Thea. We have K-pop. We have John from UPR. Who else have we got? That's everyone else at the moment. Guys, if you in chat, if you do have a question, do put it in the chat, because Glenn's watching chat. I'm half watching chat. So if any particular section and you've got a question, please do ask, because the concept of PWN is also helping everybody else. Hi, Dark Knight. So if you've got questions that we can answer, or at least try to answer, or point you in the right direction. Hi, Juju. Hi, Rosa. Then we're here to help at the end of the day, any way that we can. If we can't, if it's something we can't give you the answer to, we'll tell you, and we'll point you in the right direction to somebody that can help you. So I am looking. I have one eye. If you do hear lots of scraping, Mr. Parabunny is under the desk.
Aww.
Yeah. So He might see if I can get him. Wait, come here, you. Ah, there we go. Say a quick hello to everybody. There we go. Go, hello.
Hi,
Oh,
Chico.
hello.
Oh, dear. Right. So, I think what I'm going to do, Kirsty, I'm going to put the camera onto you, hun, so you can tell us a little bit more story, your experiences with investigating, and anything really cool experiences that you had, or what you found that hasn't worked for you, and such things.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, that is a good idea as well, Mary Lou. Talc on a flat surface. Yep, that's definitely a good one as well. So, madam, I'm going to put myself on mute, and floor is all yours.
Thank you, Zara. Well, everyone, I've started actually out as a psychic medium, and I started working as a psychic when I was 18 professionally, and I'm 29 now. And unfortunately, I don't really do the psychic side anymore because I actually found doing readings for people quite stressful because there's quite a bit of expectation placed on you. Whereas doing the paranormal side of it, it's more relaxing. You can enjoy it. You get to go and explore new places, meet new people, and of course, you get to talk to the dead. And that's like my favourite thing. I love the history as well. I've got a terrible memory, so I can't remember like the history, but when I'm there, I can feel it. I can sense the energy, and I guess that's something that you guys can all do because when you're in the paranormal, you've got to learn to sense the energy. Some people gets like the hair in the back of the neck, they get the goosebumps, all that kind of thing. Some people just go into the paranormal and they just go in it to see what they can experience, what they can get. For me, I've always been able to see spirit. I remember, it might sound crazy, but I remember being in my pram and seeing spirits when I was in my pram. I could tell you like the wee cotton socks I had on with the wee frills round it, everything. I managed to relate like a conversation that my gran and my mum had um, way back. So it's amazing the things that you can remember as a child due to the paranormal. I mean, you guys have probably experienced quite a bit, and when you experience something that you never forget it, and it's just one of those things, these things stick in my mind. So I've kind of grew up with the paranormal with me. School, for instance, was really, really difficult because as a psychic, you pick up on other people's feelings, other people's worries, stresses, even their laughter and things. I grew up with no friends. Um, and so when I went into the paranormal, I wanted to make friends. And since I've done that, I've always made new friends. Don't get me wrong, some friends come and go, but that's just the way it is. It's like some friends are for a season, some friends are for a reason. Um, but I've had the opportunity to go and investigate with a few paranormal investigators, a few paranormal groups, and it's been really, really good. It's been exciting. The different ranges and equipment is also very interesting. That helps people as well. For anybody who isn't psychic, you can go to like say a castle, just take a wee EVP recorder, a simple wee recorder, just fire it up and see if you can get any EVP spirit talking through when you play it back. Um, yeah, I don't actually have like a favourite location, but um, my childhood, I know I keep going back to my childhood, but that's where it all started, and that's probably where it started for you guys as well. I don't know if you agree with me on that one or not.
I think most do, Kirsty.
Yeah. So when I went to France with a paranormal team, that was like my very first actual investigation. I think I was like 19 at the time, and we went, and it was like the old bunkers, and it was in Oddingham. I can never say it right. But yeah, it was really interesting. We got some EVPs there. The bunkers themselves, you could feel the energy during the day. At night time, we were sleeping in tents, and you could hear like the gunfires in the field. So it was really interesting stuff that way. Um, yeah, I think it depends on your location as well. Like I went to an abandoned hospital in Paisley. It's in Scotland where I stay, and it's very highly haunted. I actually feel like I left part of my soul in that building because it's so amazing. You just automatically like some buildings you go to, your heart starts thudding away because you can sense the energy and you get proper excited and you can feel it's going to be a good investigation. And with that building, that's what it does for me. Like I can't go in there anymore because it doesn't allow you to go in because it's all boarded up. That's the other thing you have to watch. If you're intending on doing abandoned buildings, either try and seek permission, or if you're going in, just use your common sense and be very careful. Take like masks because you're going to breathe in dust. Take warm clothes, especially if it's cold. These buildings normally tend to be damp. They normally tend to be really cold, so outside can be warm, but inside will be cold. And you've got to bring that in to like your investigations as well, because people say, "Oh, you can get a cold spot," but you've got to remember you're in a very cold building, and that might sound like common sense, but it would amaze you in the amount of people that don't actually think of the just normal common sense things. But yeah, and in that building, like each floor had like a character of its own. So that's one of the interesting things there as well. Is there anything you guys want to ask me? Because I feel like I'm rambling right now.
You can ramble all you want, Kirsty. It's fine.
I am enjoying it.
Just been having some Paranormal Playground loves your accent. You speak beautifully.
Thank you, Paranormal Playground.
I adore your accent.
Lots of people love your accent, Kirsty.
I try like really hard to be so clear when I'm talking, because with Scottish accent it can be quite thick and it can be quite fast.
I
And
love
people
it.
use, thank you. People use like slang words here, so you can really really hear it sometimes. So I try to speak really clear.
I can understand you perfectly, and I'm an American.
I love it. I love Americans, by the way.
I'm half Irish anyway, so I can more or less understand Scottish. So well, it's only up the road. Well, for me, it's up the road, but for the rest of my family, it was from across the water.
Yeah. I've just seen a comment from Mary Lewis saying basically what she said is also make sure you have permission. Unlike my daughter who said she was urban exploring, but in reality she was going to break an entry. Never ever, guys, never break an entry to a
No, but
building.
this is one thing that is going to cover in the do and don'ts.
Yeah, like honestly,
So
Don't
come
do
back
that.
to that.
yeah,
Definitely come back to that one. But
definitely. So has anybody got any? Larry says sounds like a bonny lass.
yeah.
A wee bonny lass.
And that is what we say in Scotland as well. Only that.
Sarah, I recorded myself sleeping last night with a full battery, and I woke up to a dead phone with only 2 minutes opinions. Joel, what that sounds like is either you've got a really rubbish battery on your phone, or if it is down to paranormal, it could have been that the spirit has actually used the energy on your phone and use that to possibly, I don't know if you've got any EVPs recorded, but possibly to leave you some EVPs on there. That's why if you're going to go to sleep recording, always have your phone in your charger.
Is that right? Can I just say something there?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, see how you're saying like always go to bed with your phone and your charger. That's not really fire safety, I'm sorry, but
Yeah, that's true.
I do understand. I do understand that, hun. But a lot of the phones nowadays, they have a cut-off point. So as
yeah,
soon as
that's
your
true.
phone reaches 100%, it automatically stops the charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fail safe. Fail safe.
The other thing as well is my phone does this. I don't know if maybe Jill's phone does it. When my phone will record for like 2 minutes and then it automatically stops recording as soon as the screen goes blank because it's a touch screen. So unless you're like touching it all the time, it stops recording.
Yeah, that's also a good point. That could be something for you to look into, Jill. It really is. There's a question from Mary Lou for you, Kirsty. Scotland has so many beautiful places. Where is the best place you have been to investigate?
The best place is like what I was saying there is the hospital. I was in the Alexander Hospital, but again, nobody's allowed in it. I can't even get in it anymore. Other places to go, you've got like lots of abandoned places that's free, that's you can go in that you don't actually need permission for. Other ones you do.
Yeah, I'm still
Like
listening.
one of the places is there's a priory in Wishaw that you can go to. You don't need permission, it's just completely abandoned. So you can go there. Where else? Obviously, like graveyards as well is like another option open to people. You can go and investigate there, especially at night time. Like the Glasgow Necropolis is quite, I can never say it properly, but there you go. You get the idea. It's very haunted as well. You've also got the other cemetery just down from there as well that's really haunted. Uh, you just basically have to do like a Google search and a lot of places will pop up. I'd love to go do like Mary King's Close, can never say it. But yeah, there's lots of places I'd love to go to, but unfortunately a lot of these locations you need money to go to them.
That's the
So
problem, I think, nowadays.
yeah, and
Is a lot of
unless you've
people
got
worked out that quite a few pennies can be made, which is
yeah,
which is actually quite nice if you're able to find somewhere that has not been investigated, and you're the first person to actually go there. So you've got like you've got like a blank slate basically to actually work from.
yeah, there's also like in the town that I stay, Port Glasgow, there's a air raid shelter, but it's completely filled to the top with water in the winter time. So you can't you really go there in the winter. You can go in the summer, but you need to get permission because I've tried to get in there, which should be a really good place to go. But you just really have to Google search and do your research on the places that you want to go because it is a bad idea just turning up and looking because you're going to be disappointed because there's lots of things you need to consider. Is there a fence? Is there security? Is there and do you need all the equipment that you want to carry? For instance, like if I'm going, I'll just take a spirit box, maybe my phone for like EVPs because I can't be bothered carrying like a wee EVP recorder because I've got my phone on me anyway.
Yeah.
Torches are a big thing, extra batteries, all that stuff. So make sure that's like your essentials. But as of like extra things, like I could take like my EMF teddy bear, I could take my haunted dolls just to see how they react in that location. I could take religious equipment and like your wee medals because I was brought up Catholic just to see what kind of reaction you get in that location. But then you could get there and then find, well, one that's filled with water. So if you bring your equipment out, unless it's waterproof, it's going to get damaged.
True.
You might find that when you're trying to film, it's complete darkness because you need more light, so you need to bring more light with you. So it's always good to just go, look at the location, do your homework, and then maybe go back another day.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, actually. It really does. I'm just going to check, see if there's any more questions. The Jack, I have seen your question, but I will ask it a little bit later on. Oh, have you ever been to Bolskin House at Loch Ness?
No, I've not. Sorry.
Okay, that was from Morbid Obsession.
I can put it on my to-do list right now.
Yeah.
I mean, right
Okay,
there,
there's a really good question from Larry. Have you ever heard bagpipes in your sessions or EVPs?
I've heard it come through like the spirit box. One of my sessions I did in the Glasgow Necropolis Cemetery, and in the session you could hear like a dog barking, and then they say the dog needs help or something like that, but then you can hear the bagpipes coming through the radio there too. But then what you've got to remember is it is Scotland. You're going to have Scottish channels there that's going to be playing bagpipes. So as the radio's scanning, there is a high possibility you're going to get bagpipes in your session. As for EVPs, no, I've not had anything like that in my EVPs.
Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is quite interesting, you know.
If anybody's not got any more questions, then what I'm going to do, I am going to go on to the next session. And the Jack, if you're still here, I will ask your question, but a little bit later on. Oh, okay. Larry's got another question for you. Have you ever come in contact with an elemental?
Not that I'm aware of, not that I can think of.
I think we're probably thinking an elemental would be quite distinctive if we
Yeah.
were to meet one during our investigations or home sessions.
Yeah. The only other thing as well, the only other thing that I've done as well is like I've done like house clearances as well. So like because of the psychic side of it, I was called to do house clearances, and people are very on edge when they first discover there's a spirit in their house. The first thing they go is, "Oh no, my house is haunted, get it out of here." And what they don't realise is that it's normally quite normally it's family, do you know what I mean? And the other thing as well is they don't look at the logical things, always try and look at logical things. There was one lady who contacted me saying that our kitchen was haunted, and it turned out it was the heating, it was the vent, and it was transferring noises from the neighbours upstairs through the vents, and she thought our kitchen was haunted because she could hear voices in the kitchen. So yeah, that's quite an interesting aspect of it, and the paranormal as well. When you get asked to do like cleanse spirit cleanses and asked to like move a spirit on and stuff like that, I don't believe you can fully move a spirit on, but I do believe you can help guide them.
It's for sure. I definitely agree with you there. It's good. I think if spirit is able to move on, then even if you're only able to, and I don't mean like a spirit that just wants to move on just for the hell of it, but you can really tell from your heart of hearts that they really want to move on. I think if you're even the slightest amount able to help them, I think there's such a heartwarming feeling.
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing like it when you know you can help somebody. It's desperately. I mean, how many times do you have a session where your spirit say, "Help me"? It's in one session, and it is heartbreaking. But if you can help them in any way, then that's what to do.
Yeah, there's also a lot of people try to move spirits on, and sometimes spirits don't want to move on.
That's true.
They're actually quite happy where they are.
Yeah, that's right.
True.
I've also experienced that, Glenn, and the thing with that is sometimes you have to go back a few times and try and convince that person. Sometimes that person's quite scared because they didn't believe God existed when they were here, so they don't quite believe God exists in the spirit world because they've not met the big man themselves. So sometimes you've got to say, well, at least you're going to be with your family and reunite them with their family. And 9 times out of 10, that helps a little bit, you know?
Yeah, that's very true.
It's Joanne's answer, a good question. have you ever tried to cross a spirit over to the light, and what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, like I've done that a few times. All I can do at the end of the day as a psychic is request and ask them to go to the light and ask their spirit guides. Like I've got a spirit guide that works with me. I've actually got 3, Elizabeth, John and Andrew, and I asked them to step forward and ask them to take over and help them. And you do feel a difference in the room. The room does feel more peaceful. It does feel like it's empty in a sense when it does happen. So on that side of it, I can only say it does
Yeah,
feel
you,
like
you
it
can
works.
you can feel that ambiance. You know,
Yeah,
you can definitely feel spirit when they're there.
yeah, and
You
the
know,
people.
I've never, in all the investigations I've done, I've never actually tried to move a spirit on, but I have been with people who have tried
Yeah,
and probably succeeded. You know, I know what you mean about that feeling of the air being clear. You know, it almost feels, you know, like the room's been refreshed, like it's much lighter, it's brighter.
yeah,
Even though the lighting is exactly the same, you know, it's just the kind of like the viscosity of the actual air itself. It just feels so much cleaner.
yeah. It's like one of my clients described it as having like a dark cloud. And once I had helped out and stuff like that, they felt like this dark cloud was lifted. They felt like the weight was off their shoulders. And I kept
Yeah,
in touch with them and I checked with them for a few months. And basically, what happened is they were saying, no, I feel great. Everything's brilliant. I don't have any problems, you know? So it's pretty cool.
Oh,
yeah.
but it is. Rachel, if you're listening to this, you can take yourself out off the mic and jump in, you know, hun.
I was just being nice.
Almost as if you're Miss Secretary with your notepads and your pen there, and I can see you like this every time taking minutes.
Oh my gosh.
Rachel, I don't know if you can see chat, but Steve-O says hiya.
Hi, potato. Oh, well, that's normally what I would say. No, I've been looking at chat occasionally. I'm pretty lazy with it, but
You're just there, is it? And I can actually. Oh, oops! I can actually see you. Hang on, let me get my something to. Right. Right, this is you, Rachel. Okay, I know you guys are probably going to laugh in chat, and it's completely off topic. But this is Rachel. Okay, it's like
somebody was watching close.
it's like
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm just like a little schoolgirl. I'm just like,
I didn't want to say anything. I thought I might get the cane.
oh, again.
no, never. It's actually rather sweet watching you. I was like, oh, you make notes.
What can I say?
She's blushing.
Oh.
Be quiet, Crow.
Exactly, Magsy was hoping for it. Oh dear. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Well, hoping for the cane.
I'm just gonna go to a comment here. Mags, but she had that feeling when her brother died. Say goodbye. I couldn't look, but told him I loved him, and to go and see our sister. And that feeling changed completely. I do understand that because from having my uncle, but yeah. If you want to hear that story, it is actually on Glenn's channel on a shortened version. But if you want to hear the whole video, which is about an hour and a half or something, then it's on Nobody Believes Me Paranormal channel, which is by Dr. Ray Clark.
Dr. Ray.
Dr. Ray.
Dr. Ray is awesome.
There's actually, just wanted to hop back to the cheap alternatives. Now, this is an opportunity for everybody that may watch this on playback or is in chat now. And those of you that may even not see this, there will at some point be a competition. It'll be all on the PWN social media sites, and to win a red Cree light.
Ooh.
Now, Glenn, would you please do the honours and tell us what a red Cree light is?
I don't know what you're on about. Yeah, right, okay. When you're doing nighttime investigations, obviously red light at night is a lot softer on the eyes, as per white light, where obviously it's a little bit too bright for your vision. And obviously it affects cameras as well, white light does. So if you're recording something, a red light is much softer and much more kind of malleable to the circumstances that you're actually in. So there will be a red Cree light up for grabs with the competition. It's basically like a torch, but it has a very, very powerful red light that comes off it, and it actually stretches for quite some distance as well. So it's a very, very nice piece of kit to have in your itinerary, especially if you're nighttime investigating.
And you were telling me to, if you wanted to actually buy one, they're about £35.
Yeah, they was about 2 years ago, but knowing things in the paranormal, probably tripled the price.
It's probably gone up. It's probably gone up in
Yeah.
price. Yeah.
It's
So,
a very nice. It's a very nice torch, anyway.
that's good. Yeah. So details on what the competition and everything is, I don't know as yet, as I had this sprung on me about an hour and a half ago.
Fairly new then.
Trust you, Glenn.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, it's like,
Blame me.
Okay.
Blame me. I get the blame for everything else.
It is your fault, Glenn.
Of course.
I'm behaving tonight. I feel vulnerable in here with all these ladies. So. I'm only going to speak when I'm
You're only
spoken to.
fighting, Glenn, because you haven't got your wig and your fishnet stockings on and all that. You're just really waiting for ladies' night to go on camera.
Well, John Huntington's borrowed them for tonight, so there's just nothing at all I can do.
Never mind. I'm sure he'll give them back to you in brand new condition still.
Well, me and John Huntington's crashing the PWN ladies' night anyway. So.
I think. Well, apparently, I think there's supposed to be a few of you dressing up as women to crash the ladies' night, isn't there?
Yeah, blonde wigs, right?
Yeah. I don't know how Steve was going to get away with his beard, but you know, he might have a shave for that.
Yeah, shave.
No.
There's the foundation on it.
Be a Easter. He can be a belly dancer that wears one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're forgetting something. It's No Shave November, so there will be a few ladies with a moustache or two, so it's fine.
That's
they're the sort of girls I like. Moustaches in beard.
Oh, I knew that was you, Glenn. I knew that was just.
You're all nuts.
I think Steve-O should come on here and defend himself.
That Steve probably wouldn't.
You might have already shaved it off in preparation for ladies' night. You'll never know.
Might have done. One never knows, really.
Catch him on the op, you know, we might just catch him with a shaved face.
Glenn, remember your fishnet stockings as well for ladies' night.
That's a C coming in, by the way. It's not me shushing.
Oh, really?
Kirsty, be quiet.
In the middle of Nottingham?
Yeah, it's a River Trent.
Really? Middle of Nottingham? Okay.
It's a River Trent. It's on high tide, so.
Oh, right. Really high tide.
I was about to say that high tide is huge. Thank goodness.
See, I can't say nothing. Everything gets twisted. Steve-O, get in here. I'm feeling vulnerable.
Oh, but you like when we do this to you. You love it.
Glenn, I don't know if you want to start this one off, being the man of experience.
I love it. I love it
just
when
so
women
I
say
can,
things like that.
just so I can disappear for 5 minutes. Oh dear. Is if you want to have a talk about the do's and don'ts.
Well, I'll let you start it, and then I'll just come in with the cameras and the lighting.
We've already done that one.
Well, I must have missed that.
Well, yeah, you were like half asleep. That's like that's like back to bullet points, dear.
Okay.
You've
Right,
missed
okay
that
then.
one.
Number one rule when you go investigating:
And I'll be right back, guys and girls.
no drugs, no alcohol. The simple reason being, it can obscure your inhibitions. It can make you feel awkward in strange conditions, circumstances. You never know what's going to happen. Not only that, you could be investigating nighttime, and you could be in dark locations where accidents can happen. So it's always best to be level-headed and definitely no drugs or alcohol. Wouldn't you agree?
Agreed.
Especially with no Viagra. Good.
Pardon, Kirsty?
Especially with no Viagra, Glenn.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kirsty. Can you explain?
you know fine well. That's a hard one, Glenn.
Look, I'm innocent. I'm quite young.
Oh, yeah.
I'm vulnerable. Yeah. Okay, then. Emergency kits, blankets.
Yes.
And definitely something like a first aid kit. Especially, if you're, again, investigating nighttime. As I say, accidents can happen at any time and they're not actually planned for. So, things like that do help, and they have actually helped in the past when I've been on investigations. Another thing, always keep a level head. Always ask for permission when you go to any location. A lot of urbexers, we touched on this a couple of weeks ago, urbexing, and they go into these abandoned hospitals, buildings, tower blocks, and basically anywhere that's a desolate place, and accidents always happen in those sorts of places. And if you're there on your own, you can actually have an accident there, and you could be on your own, and no one will ever find you until it's too late. So it's always best to be prepared for stuff like that. And obviously, you've got your mobile phone with you, so always make sure it's charged up. And always keep in the right headspace. So you've been on an investigation just recently, Ray. So
I'm going on one tonight, actually.
You're on one tonight?
Yeah, it's on tonight.
Okay. And where are you going?
When am I going? What time? Oh, it'll be at 8 p.m.
Yeah, where? Where is it?
Oh, where? Oh, it's actually going to be at it's a residential home. It's a little, yeah.
They're my
it's not that far
favorite.
from me. Oh, yeah, those are nice to be at. Why are they your favorite?
Yeah. Well, basically, in the UK, we have many like pre-war houses, and many different families have moved through these houses, and obviously people have died in those houses, so you know, spirits get attached to the place that they used to live in. So they're really good for getting collating evidence in the paranormal. You never seem to be lost with things like EVPs and spirits actually making themselves known to you, giving them a voice again after years and years of nobody actually interacting with them.
Yeah, see, I think most of the homes that we do in this area, or at least around just this area, because we can go to other cities in Texas, and we'll go as far out to as Oklahoma, I believe. But most of the houses around here don't, they're so brand new. Like most of them were built in the 70s. They don't have many people who died in them. But the land itself has a lot of history.
Yeah, the house I was brought up in was pre-First World War, so when we actually moved out of that, it was well over 100 years old. But I constantly go back to a place in an area called Eastwood, and there's a residential house there called Eastwood House. It's very, very old. It's got wide staircases, which is actually quite unusual for houses in the UK because we normally have narrow staircases that go upstairs. And I sat there one night doing an EVP session, just basically listening for spirit to make themselves known. And there was, on review of the evidence, there was a lady that was talking to a gentleman, and she came running up the stairs past me, and this was all picked up on the EVP recorder. And it was all carpeted, but you could actually hear her footsteps coming up pretty fast past me on floorboarding, and then she ran across the landing, which was also carpeted, but it echoed, you know, as though she was running across the floorboarding, and all the time she was talking. That was absolutely like fantastic evidence, that was. And I've been there a few times, and that same lady, and her name is Rachel, and she's actually on one of my ghost box sessions. Can you remember when I told you to go and have a look at it?
I have several times, you know I have.
Yeah.
I commented.
Yeah, and her name's Rachel, and she will actually interact with you like through EVP, which is, you know, absolutely fantastic.
That one always cracks me up when I listen to it.
Yeah, and if people like don't believe that voices come through on the spirit box, you know, I've got quite a few times recorded from spirit box that lady's voice. So that's why I'm actually a firm believer that spirit boxes can be used to connect with the dead, because I've actually gained my own evidence and had that experience where, you know, I've collated that evidence of a lady speaking. So
that's so cool, though.
So back to Zara now. She put me on the spot and just dumped me in it.
Oh my gosh.
It's your turn now, anyway, Rachel.
No, it's not. We're still on the do's and don'ts.
Have you?
Okay,
what you covered on do's and don'ts? I wasn't listening.
Everything.
Oh, everything.
Don't do that.
Emergency kit.
Yes.
You didn't have any don'ts.
Finding a local group.
I must have missed that one.
Must have missed that one. Oh dear. Well, if you're just starting out and you don't really want to go out on your own, try and find a local group that, not to necessarily join, but just to go with them, just to see how an investigation is done, and any tips and tricks or stuff like that you can actually pick up from them. I think you've probably already picked up quite a few bits and pieces on the couple that you've done with your team, Rachel.
Oh, yes.
Just give me one moment, Zara, and then I just want to go back to Mary in chat, because she's just asked quite an interesting question. Right. Just carry on talking. Give me 1 minute. I'll come back to you.
All right, go on then.
Wait, what now? I'm so lost. I've got like 2 people talking to me at once.
Is your hubby there?
Oh, yes, but it's just quite funny. At the same time we're talking about all this, the paranormal group I'm with, the founder / lead investigator / whatever you want to call her, she just gave me the gate code for tonight, so I'm like, oh shoot, funny timing.
Well, if you're can he hear me?
I can hear you.
Husband hear me?
Oh no, he can't hear you. What do you want? Wait, I can call for him. Okay. Sweetheart, please come here. Come here.
What? Tell him to put one of his, put one of your things in.
Baby, put one of these things. Put them down here. Which ear's the? Oh, this is the good ear for you. You're right here. Mm-hmm. Come here.
You don't have to. Hello.
Hello.
You might not understand this, but I'll say this to you and tell me if you can understand it.
Can you hear?
Ich wünsche dir einen wunderschönen Abend.
Say that again.
Ich wünsche dir einen wunderschönen Abend.
Oh, danke, danke.
What did she say here? Because I have no idea.
She said
I
she.
said, I hope he has a wonderful evening.
Yep.
Oh.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, I like heard it and I was like, I give up. See,
Mm-mm-mm.
you can totally do it.
I can totally do what?
German? Or just
It's not the best. Not anymore.
Mine's not the best, even after 16 years.
Yeah, that's when I last had German class. Was
16 years.
16 or 17 years ago.
Gesundheit. Thank you, Mary.
Are you in Germany right now?
I
she's in
am.
Germany.
I am.
Oh, wow.
Outskirts of East Munich.
Okay. München.
Yep. Yep. And
Boy.
I've been here since, well, in this place since 2003.
Wow. It's pretty. I like the background.
Thank you. Yeah, well, my sofa's a mess, so I had to hang something up to hide my sofa.
I like that though. I was thinking
Yeah,
that
it
the
looks
whole
really
time.
cool.
It's something
It
a
looks
bit
very-
different.
Well, I've been playing Zelda all afternoon, so it reminds me of some of the towns I've been walking through.
Oh.
Mwah.
Crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Rachel's husband.
Hello.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's my new sister.
Oh, cool. I
right.
apologize. My hair
Remember
is
I was
like
telling you
three
yesterday?
days today.
That one.
Yeah, like see.
Okay,
Yeah.
He's busy.
this side, the other side.
He's somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere down there.
No, I was like, you're way off.
Yeah.
There's no people there at all.
Nobody's there.
Nobody's home.
That's right. What time do you have to leave today?
That's not till late. Baby.
Okay.
Remember, I just told them. 8:30.
I wasn't.
Yeah, Kathy just gave me the gate code.
Cool.
Yeah, because it's a closed community, so
Oh, that'll be fun.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Mwah. I will go now. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye.
That was fun.
Joanne, I wanted to answer a question there from Joanne. She has asked me, do I do EVPs with a recorder? I do have 2 recorders. Actually, I've got my pink storage. And I have, there's my 2 recorders. This one, unfortunately, can't be hooked up to the PC, but that one can. That one is the, hang on, this is the VN480 PC. Mags, this is going to be changing, hopefully. This is just actually a makeup, but it's bloody good for storage. Apart from that, what I've actually found for EVPs that work for me, Joanne, and found this out recently, is when I'm running my Memorex. I've actually renamed my Memorex to an EV. It's now called an EVP magnet. Joel, if you don't need to buy a recorder, hun. If you've got a sound recorder on your phone, you can use that, or you can also download the free version of RecForge. And if you need any help with that, you can ask Irish Steve-O. He's the man to ask when it comes to RecForge. So it can be done, hun. Even if you've just got a normal video camera, cheeky shush a minute, I'm talking. Even just your normal phone read, just your normal camera on your phone, hun. You can just record it. And that'll also work as well. Excuse me, my voice is going. The only problem, I natter too much. Right, well, if Glenn has already covered the do's and don'ts.
Don'ts.
That's the first, guys. A lady's voice going.
Oh, shush you.
You heard it first on PWN live stream. Ladies actually lose their voices.
I do, anyway. What I'm going to do, if there's nothing nobody wants to add to do's and don'ts, I'm going to hand it over to you, Rachel.
I was going to say don'ts. Well, as far as EVPs and don'ts, don't whisper. That's a good one.
Always, definitely don't whisper.
We brought my husband out on the last investigation.
Yeah, and definitely big no, because it will get found out. Do not fake your evidence. Circumstances.
No.
If you get nothing, be honest about it and say that you received nothing. It's better to receive nothing than to fake evidence just for whatever reason. It's not worth it, guys. It really isn't.
That's very true.
It's really not worth it. It's as most of you know, after every stream, every video that I do is stay truthful, stay honest, and that's two things that I recommend everybody stay true to yourself, stay true to the work that you do, stay honest about the work that you do. Like I said, if you don't get anything, just say you didn't get anything. It's better to say
99%. 99% of investigations, you get nothing anyway.
You know,
even in haunted locations.
Yeah, even if you just wanted to add a 20-30 second clip, just of, you know, just to show you, it's like, you know, we got nothing. Just put on the screen, nothing received here. Is it agreed, Mags? Yeah, you are only fooling yourself if you're going to fake it.
Yeah, you can't fool people.
Yeah, there's a question from John. Yes, that too as well, Larry. John has asked, what do you all think between old school tech and new school tech, and what works for you and what have you tried? Well, for me, I'm only 7-8 months doing sessions and only been up to my local place on the outside a few times. I use ghost boxes. I have used my K2. I think I've only ever got one. Will do, Mary. I've only had a hit, I think maybe once on it. I don't really like to use it. Hopefully soon I'll actually be switching over from a K2 to a compass, going old school. Was that just me, or was there an orb just there?
Oh,
I didn't see anything.
No, it might have just been a bit of matrixing. That's weird. Yeah, so for me, it's where I'm still learning. I'm a little bit of it. I'm more of the new for the moment, but I'm actually learning with some of the old school tech by Mr. Glenn down here. So, Glenn, if you want to answer John's question, what you do?
Yeah, I still use magnetic tapes in the old recorders. I find that you get better quality EVPs. I always use a compass. I never very rarely use a K2 meter. Into all that in the last stream. it's just basically investigating it. You know, it takes time. The old school methods, just basically going into a location and, you know, just basically listening for those raps, taps, knocks. If spirit want to make themselves known to you, they will do. You know, just lately I've been putting together some lights with vibration sensors on them, which can be hung as a pendulum from the ceilings. So, you know, it's another method where spirit can interact with something, you know, a little bit like they interact with a candle. Candles are really, really good and very, very cheap. You know, if you can get into a room where there is no draft at all and spirit can affect the candle, the flame, which they can do, and that has been proven, you know, just methods that are just so simple. We nowadays think it's about spending large amounts of money on equipment that has never been proven to detect spirit. You know, there's no correlation that spirit can interact with a K2 meter. You know, there's no correlation that spirit can interact with any number of, you know, including things like SLS cameras. You know, it's, you know, which has just recently been debunked to death. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. I don't use them myself. I have one, but it's something that I don't use because it's not really viable, you know, as proof, because, you know, SLS cameras can pick up on anything, and it's actually designed to form a skeletal view on picking up even a minimum of 3 points on the, you know, with what it's detecting. So you can have like the corner of a chair, the corner of a cupboard, and the work surface, and those 3 points will generate a skeleton. You know, now a lot of people say, well, oh, there's a spirit there. Well, actually, no, it's, you know, it's actually in its design form that matrix of a skeletal figure on 3 points. So, you know, is it spirit? I don't know, but, you know, it just, the mechanism inside, the electronics inside, you know, they force the system to basically generate a skeletal figure. And that's why a lot of the skeletal figures you see on an SLS camera are actually all over the place. You know, it will generate arms, legs that are too long, and one arm's longer than the other. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how people see spirit, but, you know, I don't imagine them to be that way. So, you know, it's something that, you know, that I won't use as, you know, evidence, because of the, you know, the circumstances. You know, you can't say that that is definitely spirit, where you can use EVP and actually have, although prolonged, there are methods you can use with 3 recorders where you can hear the EVP on plate. One will record it and the other one will play it back. So you can virtually have, within seconds, real-time communication with spirit. You know, instead of having to ask you questions, wait a while for the spirit to answer, then rewind and then play, you know, play so you can actually hear the spirit. Now, I should imagine that way, spirit will probably get bored. But, you know, there are methods you can use for real-time communication with spirit, which, if I can just touch on what Mary was asking, how to discern spirit.
Yeah, please.
A lot of the time, Mary, it's a case of going into a location and accumulating enough evidence that states that that place is haunted. So if you go into on time and get some EVPs, you've got to ask yourself, is that enough evidence to suggest that there is a spirit there? Well, actually, the answer to that is no, because you can go on an aeroplane with a recorder and you can get an EVP on an aeroplane. You can get an EVP anywhere on the planet. You know, again, if it's a residual haunting at a location, if you go back and back and back again, multiple occasions, multiple times, and you're getting the same results with the same spirit voices and the same names, then that is more. You can show that more as fact that spirit is actually residing in that location. So it's a case of, you know, doing the research, finding out the names of the people that used to live there, that passed away there. It's always about the research, you know, and getting those names, getting those circumstances, people that used to reside at that address, that have passed away at that address, or maybe visiting that address, and constantly going back and getting solid evidence that spirit is there. And that can only be done with time. And that's the best way to discern, you know, to discern if spirit is actually at a location. And spirits move around all the time anyway.
That's true. And what are you, Rach?
What?
I was going to say, and what are you, Rachel? Between old tech and new tech, and what works for you, and what have you tried?
Well, I will say, and this is just me personally, I have refused to use a K2 meter. Absolutely. I won't use one at all. Never have I used one. I just personally, I think too much can interfere. I don't know. I can't find it. I can't see it as being something I could buy and, you know, use often.
Can I just cut in there, Rachel?
Yes, sir.
Right. In chat, Joanne D. Can I just say something, Joanne? Bill Chappell doesn't even actually believe that SLS picks spirits up. He stated that it was just something he invented for the Ghost Adventures crew. He doesn't actually believe in spirits. And he's openly said that.
Yep.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. You see, there's a lot of equipment out there that to detect spirit when, you know, as fact, you know, we do not know what frequency spirit come through on. We do not know as fact if spirit can actually interact with that. We will not know anything until the day we pass ourselves.
Very true.
But Bill Chappell, you know, he's openly stated that he does not believe in the SLS camera. It's just something he formulated for the GAT crew. He doesn't believe in ghosts.
Now, I'm just going to butt in there, and I just wanted to make a point of saying hello to somebody. Hello, Mortis.
Oh, Uncle Mortis.
About time that you showed up around here.
Who's Mortis?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I was going to say, you finished, Glenn, so then Rachel can carry on.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like me
What
to
was I carrying out?
about the way you don't use the K2, old school?
Oh. Shoot. Well, I mean, as far as new technologies, yeah, I've never really wanted to use a K2 meter. I feel like there's too much that can interfere with it, and for me, it just doesn't seem worthwhile for me to have myself. The team I'm with does have they do have K2 meters, but for myself personally, I've never used one.
Okay. And what do you prefer, old school or new school?
Old school.
Old school.
Like I even have my own.
Yay! Perfect. And I don't know. Is there anything else you want to add onto that?
Oh my goodness, your voice, darling.
I know. Never mind. I don't care. I'm used to it. Tomorrow I'll be like. So one night of talking, and tomorrow nothing. It's fine.
I've heard her do that voice a few times, and she's not lost the voice.
Oh goodness.
I'm saying. Hi, Catherine. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Right. If that's it for you from that question from John Hunn, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move on to Kirsty for her answer. What's best for her? Yeah?
Well, for me, Zara, that's a kind of tricky one because I'm kind of on the fence, to be honest with you. I can't say one way or the other because I've just recently ordered some stuff to start the old school stuff, like Glenn was saying, with the compass and things. So I'm still waiting on that coming to give it a go. I wholeheartedly agree with them as far as like you can't totally prove it until the day you die. Totally agree with that. But what I would like to add is I've got like a teddy bear that's got a K2 built into it.
Mm-hmm.
On the idea of it being a trigger object because like kids in the spirit world want to react with a teddy bear. Oh, it's cute, it's cuddly, they want to pick it up, touch it. So obviously the idea behind it is it's going to set the K2 off. And I've done quite a few sessions where the K2 and the teddy bear doesn't light up until I ask a question, and it only lights up when I've asked a yes/no question. So for me, I hear what Glenn's saying, I totally get it. But I'm not saying that it is definitely spirit communication because at the end of the day, you're not going to know that till the day you die for sure. But I do think there is something in it. I'll say that.
Yeah, you're definitely right there, Kirsty. I've got a friend that's got an EMF teddy bear, and it literally blows up.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. You know, it has been linked to, answers we've had from the spirit box, and also with EVP too. So as an accumulation of three kinds of evidence, and obviously the feeling of like the ear standing up on the back of your neck and actually having that feeling when you're in the room. The teddy bear that she, I can't debunk it, so, again, I'm just saying, that's just my own personal views.
For instance, right, a lot of paranormal investigators, and they're 100% true on this as well, are correct. They'll say a mobile phone will affect a K2 meter. I swear on my life, I can have my mobile phone sit in front of my teddy bear with a K2 in it and it won't go off. And it only goes off when I ask a question. So it's kind of like, obviously, you can say, well, it's the phone, but when it's specifically only lighting up to your questions, it makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. It makes you sit up and take notice, and you're sitting there like, oh my God, like, that's spirit. It's got to be spirit, So as I say, I'm kind of like, I'm very open-minded.
Yeah, if the K2 meter is lighting up to yes, no questions, and again, like you just said, if like the ears are standing up on, you get that feeling of like electricity in the air.
Yeah.
The atmosphere definitely changes. As an accumulation of like more than one piece of evidence, then it does point, to the K2 meter working, because, I've not said that it doesn't work. I'm just saying that as a standalone, one single item piece of equipment, you cannot discern spirit from just that one piece of equipment. It has to be an accumulation of other types of evidence that go along with it to verify is amongst you when you actually do investigations.
Yeah, definitely. It's the same with like the SLS camera. Like, I would really love one of those just to experiment with, but they cost like an arm and a leg. But the thing is with it, I've seen people's sessions where they like what I'm saying, similar to the K2, they'll ask a question, like, can you wave at the camera spirit if that's you? The next thing you see the wee match figure waving at the camera. So I think like you've got to have all these different things together. So like your EVP, your spirit box, your K2, everything. I think you have to have everything at the one, not necessarily at the one time, but included in an investigation or in that session to say, hey, it is a possible spirit activity.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I don't think like any one on its own is enough to say, yeah, this place is haunted, or yeah, that's definitely spirit. I think you've got to have like a number of things there to say, well, yeah, that's what I think it is, you know. And as I said, even at that, you need to wait till you're dead, because there is no real way of proving things, but we try our hardest, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you 100% on that.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying the old school stuff, especially with compasses. I mean, I've ordered 9, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to that stuff. And they're so cheap to buy as well. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It cost me like £1 something for one, you know. So
yeah,
it's all about where you shop as well.
yeah. Well, you see, the thing about a compass is it's not susceptible to the interference that comes off a mobile phone. You know, it's not, you know, it's not going to pick up, you know, the motors in a camera. You know, it's not going to pick up, you know, interference, you know, from the radio. You know, it can only be affected by an electromagnetic field. You know, as we all know, all compasses point north.
Yeah.
So if you've got a compass set up and it basically starts to spin, then there's a definite electromagnetic field that's being generated that is actually causing that compass to, you know, for the needle to spin. You know, and I've used one for many, many years, and I've probably seen my own compass spin around 6 times, where it's just literally just spun in a circle so fast that you can't even focus on the needle. It's just spinning constantly. And at the same time, we've had that feeling of, you know, the air being charged, you know, and you just know when spirit is there, because you know, you can just feel it in the air, you know. And for the compass to spin while that's happening, and obviously nothing else, you know, being able to affect it, you know, for me, you know, it is a good pointer. And again, with accumulated evidence, it's a really good pointer that spirit is there, you know, with you at that time.
Yeah, definitely.
John says thank you to everybody for answering his question. What I was going to do, so I can try and rest my voice a little bit. Rachel, do you want to tell us all you as a new person coming into starting off in a team? My voice is really going.
Whoa! Oh my goodness!
I know, it's really bad. You know, how you came across the group, and you know, the fact I know you've done only just a couple of investigations with them at the moment, but going for you, you know, any tips that you can give to others that may be looking for a local team and stuff like that?
Yes. Well, okay, so how I got into the group that I'm with, which is Woodlands Paranormal here in my area, it was actually kind of a perfect timing, to be honest with you. We met the founder of the group through karaoke. It's really funny. They all really like karaoke.
Okay.
So they're customers of ours, and I don't even know I forget how the conversation even came up, but I remember I guess she had mentioned it somehow, and I was like, oh, okay. And over time, I just one day asked, I was like, is there by any chance you guys have like an opening of any kind? You know, I can start off just doing just whatever. And she was like, well, anytime, you know, we could use an investigator. We're not. Right now, I'm still on my 6-month probationary period, but it's all good. As far as like tips, I know meetup.com is actually a really good one. I don't know if they have that. I'm sure that goes for any country at this point. People even say Craigslist has worked for them. And looking through Facebook works. And there's actually a listing I found recently that lists for just about every state in the United States. And I think it does it for the UK as well. forget what website that
Oh,
was.
okay.
Oh, paranormalsocieties.com.
Paranormal. Hang on, let me just write this down. See, I've got pen and paper beside me as well today. Paranormal
Yeah, societies.
is
Croak.
.com.
oh, yeah.
Do you want an ointment for that? Do
Shut
you want an
up.
ointment for that? Do you want an ointment for that croaky throat?
No. I
Oh
don't
my
want
goodness.
it for that.
Sarah, use the clipboard or notepad to just get Glenn into shape, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
I'm behaving. I'm a good boy tonight.
For once. Right, and that's
I
for the USA and UK, did you say?
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well, what I'll do, I'll put that in the description below after the stream and that, so then you guys can just go and check out the website if you're looking for a team in your area.
I know the States for sure.
Mm. So, Emil, your experience, how many investigations is it that you've done with your team?
So far, let's see, 3. So not that many. So, and then I've got one tonight.
Oh, yeah, you got one tonight as well. Yep.
So that'll be fun. I'm interested. The information seems very interesting. She's the person that's involved. She's an older lady. She's a Japanese older lady, and it's like in a place where everybody's old, senior living place.
Okay, well, that's okay.
Yeah, and they have their own houses.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a nice place. Yeah, they have their own houses. It's just a community.
Does she train you up, Rachel? Does she ask you to
Do
wax on and wax off?
What?
You said she's a Japanese lady. Does she ask you to wax on and wax off? I'm only asking.
Oh, goodness.
These are important.
See, Zara's dying.
Rachel, do you know that cup when you hold it up is almost as big as yours?
I know, it's ridiculous.
Mags, I'm not even going to bother asking. Behave yourself, Glenn. It's
a viable question.
Can you put him back in his naughty stool?
I put you in timeout, young man.
Okay.
That naughty stuff. Goodness.
Carry on, Rachel. Waxing on and waxing off.
I don't know if I can do this. Oh, goodness. I think apparently whatever is going on over there, it doesn't really personally bother her, but it bothers her kids, I believe, when they come to visit.
Okay.
Let me see. What did that guy write? Who all is coming? What is it? Oh, yeah, sweet little 78-year-old Japanese lady who works out every day, isn't scared at all. She's just bothered. Her kid's obviously grown. Tell her she's imagining things, but she isn't. Blah blah blah. Yeah, all the good stuff.
Oh, cool. And have you found in the short time that you've been with your team that you've actually learned quite a lot?
Yes, we've actually gotten quite a lot between all of us. It's been sadly it's everything's been residential, so I haven't been able to share anything. I have to be very vague.
Well, that's completely understable.
Yeah, privacy and whatnot.
Yeah, because with person confidentiality, and all that. That's completely understandable.
Oh gosh, yeah, I know. I'd be upset if anybody were to put me on YouTube besides myself. But no, they're a great group. I completely love them.
That's good though.
It's
good that you gel well with them, and
yeah, and they like the old school methods.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I'm going to ask you, Okay, your T-shirt. Can you just show it to us quickly? Keepfarmandpool.com. Cool.
Yeah. And we're actually a focus group for Paranologies. I found that out recently.
Ah.
Yeah, apparently that's neat because we actually do have some of their products.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't know we were. I looked because yeah, I'm going to that Paracon next weekend, and of course Jeremy Jones himself will be there. I'll get to play with hopefully some stuff.
Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah, that'd be good. It's
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I've not come across something like that over sort of Munich direction over here. I know, like England, they're pretty hot on Paracons, and US, well, really, really hot on Paracons. And
I never knew what one was till gosh, I forgot when. I think it was some live stream. I heard about them, and then yeah, the lady who's the founder of the group I'm in, she's speaking at this one, so that's how I knew about it.
Yeah. 8, sort of. Being a member of the team and all that.
Exactly.
It's that. What was that, Glenn?
I was just asking Rachel if she'd pinched anything.
What?
No. Oh, she was.
I didn't know whether she'd be a kleptomaniac and steal some paranology lights, you know, just slip them into her handbag.
Oh yeah, that's so me. That's totally what I'm gonna do.
Oh, okay. If you're
Where
cheap,
did you want me to get? Did you want me to get you anything?
Yeah, if you're selling something cheap, just sling it my way.
Trade you for a 587.
Okay.
Liar.
Okay.
Yes, mister. How many boxes is it you've got?
A few.
Come on.
A few.
Come on.
I have a few of them now, but I struggled for a long, long time not to get to get a single one, and then I just got flooded.
If anybody would like to know how many how many ghost boxes Glenn has got, say
Yes.
Yes.
chat. That doesn't count as 2, Kirsty.
Aw, shame.
I should have thought of that.
I tried.
I bet Juju's is a yes. Anybody else? Hi, P.I.
She made me count them the other day.
I did. I did make you count them. Well, all I'm going to say, it is more than 30.
Oh yeah.
And less than 50. So it's somewhere in the 40 range.
I forgot what the exact number was, but
Craig.
I'm after a 360. I'm after a 360 and an Optimus, if anybody's got one.
Yeah, 360 and an Optimus, not an octopus.
Yeah.
No, Jules, you get no. It's around about 42, 43. I think it was. We counted. And most of them are just of one brand.
Yeah, I must admit, I have been buying a few.
Glenn, you should do a ghost box tour.
I like that one.
Yeah. I'll retire and just do ghost box tours.
Yeah, £5 on the door.
Will you buy a ticket?
Yeah, £5 on the door.
He is Mortis. He is trying to corner the market.
I'm going to sell them all and buy Porsche.
No, don't sell them. Just rent them out and then get the money back again.
I've already lost 2.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, exactly. Ouch. Yeah. Oh dear. That's terrible.
Say no more about that.
Yeah. There was a question that was asked earlier. I don't know if the Jack is still around, but they asked, do you think they get more, like spirits, do you think spirits get more energy from electricity or organic material like water, crystals and such?
Oh, it's hard.
I think water helps.
Yeah, I do the waters.
I think, well, I've done water. What have I done? Water, earth, fire on one of my experiments.
I'm within 50 yards of the river, and I can get like a really good position for the radio and do a ghost box session, and basically get nothing from the mill that's the old mill that's just adjacent to the property I live in. And if I go down to the river, which the mill actually sits on, I can always get good communication down there. So I actually think, you know, the water does help. Water has a lot of energy anyway.
I think natural elements actually help. I know when I did my first main experiment, just using my water fountain, that actually really helped a lot, especially from the especially like with the evidence that I did catch. And as you know, that you know, there's no way with some of the stuff that happened that I could have known did actually happen, because I didn't see anything happen. You know, as I was watching, it was on when I was reviewing the evidence. So I think actually using some of the natural elements does actually help, because it's earthbound elements, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's a lot of places like throughout the UK where you get like a lot of natural granite. Probably Kirsty probably knows more about this than I do. Obviously, granite is a very, very old type of stone.
That's true.
And it's been linked with like elementals, where granite has been found under like forests. So when the atmospheric pressures build up, it obviously puts more weight on the stone, and it releases light. You can actually, you know, see plasma lights in certain forests throughout the UK.
Okay.
You know, I don't know whether that's spirit or whether it's something to do with like the atmospheric pressure with the weight on the actual granite. So granite is a really, really good stone that, you know, you can get spirit lights from.
You can get lots of granite around here.
Yeah, Scotland's renowned for granite. So.
True.
What do you reckon, Kirsty? Have you heard anything about that? Where you've been in Scotland?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with what you've said, Glenn. Another thing as well with moisture in there, if you take like a picture and say like it's cold and it's damp, and you take a picture with a flash on, you're going to get like orbs. And a lot of people say, well, look at all the spirits in the field. It's not, it's moisture in the air.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, so like that's another thing people do as well. Can I also ask another question for a friend?
Sure.
He's currently asking me, how do you put an SB7 on quiet mode?
Oh,
Turn it up. Turn it up full.
Glenn's got there is a video on Glenn's channel.
we're talking about the SB7.
There you go. Check out Glenn's channel, people.
Channel. I must have got one, but no.
Yeah, you just basically turn it on, hold the on button, and then quickly press the scan, and it just goes on to
Quiet mode.
the quiet mode. Yeah, It doesn't happen with all PSP 7s though.
Oh, it
I know
does.
how to do it. I know how to do
No.
it with SB11.
No. Yeah, you cracked that, didn't you, Kirsten?
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to know how to do it on the SB11, go to Kirsty's channel because she's got a video on there showing you exactly how to do
So
it.
cool.
Unicorn mode. Woo!
I really should call it that, shouldn't I?
I
It
like
is
it.
unicorn mode. It is unicorn
How did you figure
mode.
that out, by the
That's
way?
what it is.
Yeah, I did discover it, so I might do a redo then, especially since I was holding the camera with my teeth last time. And yes, I do
I
have
figured
my
that out.
I'm asking her for a
You know,
date.
sorry.
You know, when I get really old, right? This is what I'm gonna try, guys. When I get really old, I'm gonna try and hold things with my teeth from a distance. You know, with my
Yeah,
teeth in my hand. You know.
you'll keep doing that until they fall out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mary asked a good question. I have never tried this. I don't know about you three. Has anyone ever tried the two-person live EVP? The second person wears a blindfold and headphones connected to the recorder. The other person asks questions. Headphone wearing person says whatever they hear real time.
Oh no, it's quite interesting though. Sounds quite interesting.
I thought
Yeah, it
that was done on one of the programs, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a stream one time, like doing experiments like that, and also we can get Zara to put ping pong balls on her eyes and do the Gansfield experiment too.
I'll be willing to give it a try. Ping pong.
See, since we're bringing it,
As long as I can colour in red eyes with black
Yeah.
dots.
Grasshopper.
Glenn, behave yourself.
Does that mean I get to blindfold you with that?
whoa.
Does that mean I can get to blindfold you legally?
see, since you're bringing the blindfolds, can I bring the handcuffs?
Oh, I was gonna bring mine. You got the mini one.
Stream
Don't you start, Miss Kirsty. Yes, he is, Mags. Tell him off. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. There is one thing that that I didn't mention to you guys watching this live or watching back. Is if anybody is really interested learning paranormal or that is serious about learning the paranormal do's and don'ts, what to do, what not to do, how's the best thing to do stuff, so on and such forth. Ben and I will actually at some point be setting up a group hangout where people can come in. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned investigator, whether you've been in the paranormal for 5 minutes, 5 weeks, 5 years, it really doesn't matter. But what will happen is actually where Glenn has years experience, over 600 investigations, 200 of them for the church. He is a very good source of information, and thankfully to those that are really willing and is going to be 100% committed, he will actually actually give you guys the guidance that you need, and ask any questions that you have. And they are not going, and the questions that will be asked Don't expect yes, no answers, maybe or just maybe, because when it comes down to the paranormal, now Glenn and I spoke about this not long before I had to get ready. There is no point blank yes, no, maybe answers. The answers, if you're deadly serious, are lengthy answers. So if there's something that you're interested in, you can drop me a message on the Paranormal White Noise Facebook page, or you can just comment below once this has gone up. You know that unfortunately a lot of the old school ways of doing things are getting lost. Seeing as Glenn has got such the experience, and he is actually willing to do this, but only if you're 100% certain that you want to do this, because it isn't just going to be in, out, wham bam, 5 minutes later, right, you know everything what there is to know, because it's not. It's a lengthy process. And also, if you're interested, there is the Facebook group. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Kimberly Lombardi, who is a very nice lady, also been in the paranormal for many, many years. She also knows what she's talking about. I'm in her group. I know Rachel's in her group. I know Glenn's in her group. She has a lot of like short tests, like debunking pictures in the group, but she also has lots of forms and information on her website. So if you're interested, it's another learning tool. That website, her Facebook group is Paranormal Learning Annex. So if you are just coming in, you want to learn more, you are serious about it, then what do you mean, Mike?
Kirsty said first.
Oh, right. I don't know.
It sounds like heavy breathing.
Yeah, it
Every
does.
time you're talking.
I saw that. It really does.
Anything can happen on a live stream. That's the thing. Anything, you know.
Sorry, I just saw Mortis's comment.
Yeah, it's yeah. I've seen it. I've noticed it. I'm not answering it. But like I say, if you guys are really interested in seriously learning about it, there are the resources out there. There is something that we're going to be putting together ourselves as well. Do let us know if you're interested. You can also message me on Facebook, either under the Paranormal White Noise, or if you just happen to see me in another group elsewhere, you can just click on my profile and send a message. But I think for my throat, I think I'm probably gonna. I don't know if any of you three want to add anything in. Or
no, I think you've covered everything, hon.
Oh yes, ma'am. His Willy Wonka box. I'm sorry, I had to say that.
I'm actually going to get an head start because I'm going to start legging it soon. See that? Can you see that look on her face? I'm in for it. I know I am.
Oh yes, very much so.
Definitely. So if you guys, I don't know if you've got any questions that you want to ask any of these three, or if you want, I can answer a question. Say, let's do a ghost box session, but my throat is getting really sore, guys.
I've got a question.
Go on then.
Is Glenn's Willy Wonka box better than He Who Shall Not Be Named?
Ask Glenn.
You want to know about my Willy Wonka, Kirsten?
Oh wow.
Yeah. We've got to go there, you know. We've got to investigate.
Let me take my notes.
You're terrible. You're terrible. Can't you wait until afterwards, for God's sake? Please, children. Max, I'm not even going to ask that question.
Oh, I gotta see this.
Oh dear. Dear,
Oh
oh
my.
Right, guys. Well, like I said, I think I'm going to call it a night because, as you can hear, I'm finished.
Yeah. Poor darling.
Totally finished. I hope that you really enjoyed the stream this evening as much as what I have. As always, if you've got any questions, you're more than welcome to join our Facebook group with Paranormal White Noise, which is always in the description of all the videos. Thank you, Paranormal Playground. Thank you, Juju. Thank you, Mortis. Thank you, Mary Lou. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for intermission. Thank you, Portia. Thank you, everybody that has been in chat for joining us this evening. Hello, Chasing Bones. We're just about to finish up, I'm afraid, hun. I do apologise. But next live stream, maybe if we don't get too carried away on the paranormal topics, then we might have time for a quick session. But until then, guys, I don't know if you want to say goodbye.
No.
Would you?
Yeah.
I'm writing in chat.
Well, you can physically say goodbye.
I know, it's so much easier.
Okay, goodbye, everybody in chat. Thank you very, very much for being here. Thank you for supporting us, and we love you all. And who's Mortis?
I don't know. Who's
Kirsty,
Glenn?
Glenn, Rachel.
Who's Rachel?
I
I
know
don't know.
exactly. One never know.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
just
you for
invisible.
everybody. Thank you, everybody,
One
for being here.
I says I'm just invisible.
You didn't know. You're never invisible.
No.
No, no, never. Never, never, never. Hi, Sylvia. You want to say bye, Rachel?
Bye, everybody.
Bye from me too.
Bye
On the
from
way
me,
out,
bye
Mortis is
bye
giving
bye.
that cable ties.
Shush. Hi, Kelly. Oh no, people are coming in, and we're just finishing up.
Oh.
In more ways than one.
Next time, you can hear my voice is going. So from him, from her, from me. Good night, and as always, stay honest, guys. I've really got
Thank
to
you,
go.
everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.